I had heard many tales of the strange and deadly flora that thrived in the humid jungles and delta wetlands of Osse, but nothing could have prepared me for the moment I lost my trusty mule, Thistle, to the silent menace of the Gympie Gympie nettle tree. I'd only just arrived on the continent, really, having investigated the remarkable giant marsupials that acted more like beavers, creating a lush tropical delta it took me days to cross. I was not alone, and I had quite a lot of gear with me, so I took along some pack animals, as you do. We were journeying through the southeastern coast, where the dense canopy of towering trees loomed above, casting dark shadows across the forest floor. Thistle was a resilient creature, accustomed to harsh climates and treacherous terrain, yet it was on this day that her strength would meet its match. I had only turned away for a brief moment when I heard a sharp guttural cry. When I looked back, my mule was thrashing violently, her eyes wide with panic as she crashed through the underbrush. I ran to her aid, but it was already too late. The leaves of the Gympie Gympie had claimed another victim. The invisible venomous hairs embedded themselves into her skin, and within minutes she was convulsing in agony, the torment unbearable even for a creature as sturdy as she. Before long, Thistle lay still, the pain having consumed her entirely. I was devastated. This was not the first time I had encountered death, but never had I seen such cruelty inflicted by a mere plant. The Gympie Gympie nettle tree had proven itself a silent killer, lying in wait among the verdant foliage. We stopped there while I investigated, then sat quietly with Thistle. I was not sure if there were many other horses on the whole continent, and it felt like a lonely place for her to be, but rest there she would, a good horse and brave pioneer. I was not going to see a horse that good for some time. The Gympie Gympie nettle tree, or Dendrocnide morides, is native to the jungles and river deltas of Osse. Its large heart-shaped leaves may look innocent, but they are covered in thousands of fine venomous hairs or trichomes, each capable of delivering intense, lasting pain. Once contact is made, the tiny barbed hairs pierce the skin and inject a neurotoxin, creating a burning sensation that only intensifies over time. The hairs are nearly impossible to remove without breaking and continue to deliver venom for days, weeks, or even months. In animals, the reaction is swift and often fatal. The initial pain causes panic, and the afflicted creature may flee blindly, leading to further injury or even death. The convulsions that follow can lead to heart failure or severe trauma, making survival nearly impossible without advanced magical healing. For humanoids, the experience is no less torturous, burning pain that has been compared to being scorched by acid while simultaneously struck by lightning. Worse still, the toxin's effects can linger for years, flaring up when exposed to cold water, as if the plant's sting remains hidden within the body, waiting to strike again. Further exposure to the plant over time is no less dangerous, with the reaction becoming more severe, so that after a while, if not completely protected, a person can become incapacitated just from their allergic reaction to any exposure to it. Druids and shamans may offer medicines to help reduce allergic reactions such as closed airways and swollen skin, but they can't provide total immunity to this particular plant's toxins. I once met an old sailor who had sailed the waters of Osse for many years. He recounted his own encounter with the Gympie Gympie, having brushed against one during a trading expedition with the Frill-Necked lizard folk. Though he survived the initial sting, he told me that every time he submerged himself in cold water, the pain returned with ferocious intensity. "It's like the tree never lets go," he remarked bitterly. "Even after decades, it remembers." He described one bloodthirsty pirate captain who subjected some crew who tried to murder him to a horrific ordeal where they were lashed with whips and thrown into a pile of the nettle leaves before being tossed overboard for the sharks. It makes me wonder how long a man can scream, how much can he endure before his senses just can't take it anymore. The people of Osse, particularly the Frill-Necked lizard folk of the southeast delta, have long held the Gympie Gympie in a place of caution and fear. Their myths describe the tree as a guardian of sacred sites planted by ancient spirits to protect the land from those who would seek to defile it. According to their legends, only those who walk with respect for the land and its spirits can avoid its wrath, while the arrogant or unworthy are doomed to suffer. The tribes along the southeastern river delta have taken to harvesting and selling the leaves of the plant, including long hardwood sticks that have preserved leaves woven around the end, something a whole lot more scary than a cattle prod. These Gympie sticks are excellent for warding off large lumbering creatures who get too close for comfort. Unlike many others in Osse, the Kangaroo Folk do not place any spiritual significance on the Gympie Gympie. They regard it simply as a dangerous plant to be avoided, no different from the predators that roam their lands or the harsh weather that often strikes the region. Their entire culture revolves around practicality and survival, with little room for mysticism or ceremony. Resilient and adaptable, the kangaroo folk are perfectly suited to the rugged landscape of southeastern Osse. With their powerful hind legs and muscular tails, they are able to move swiftly through the dense jungles, covering great distances with ease. Their natural agility makes them adept hunters, but they tend to avoid conflict whenever possible, preferring to outmaneuver their foes rather than confront them directly. In battle, however, their strength and speed make them formidable opponents, able to deliver devastating blows with their legs and tails. Their society is organized around loosely connected family groups, with leadership determined by practical achievements rather than spiritual insight or charisma. Those who can provide for their clan and navigate the dangers of the jungle earn respect and authority. Outsiders often find the kangaroo folk to be blunt and unsentimental, though they are not unfriendly. They simply have little time for frivolity, preferring to focus on the tasks at hand, whether that means securing food, building shelters, or trading with their neighbours. In contrast to the kangaroo folk's pragmatic outlook, the koala folk of the high canopies are a dreamier, more mystical species, known for their introspective nature and an almost constant state of euphoria brought on by the diet of eucalyptus leaves. While some might mistake their slow, lethargic movements for laziness, the koala folk are in fact deep thinkers, often pondering the mysteries of the cosmos as they lounge in the treetops. Their minds, clouded with the effects of the eucalyptus, are prone to wandering through strange visions and insights, making them the source of many mystical tales among the other peoples of Osse. Though practical kangaroo folk have little patience for the koala's musings, there is a grudging respect between the two species. The koala folk often claim to have foresight into events yet to come, though their predictions are vague and cryptic at best, leaving the kangaroo folk to roll their eyes at the perceived impracticality. Yet, when the koalas speak, it's with a calm certainty that unnerves even the most hardened of warriors. It's said that those who listen closely may glean truths hidden within their seemingly nonsensical ramblings. Both species, despite their differences, have been known to interact with the wider world of Osse. The kangaroo folk are frequent traders, supplying their finely crafted tools and practical goods to nearby peoples, including the Frill-Necked lizard folk. Adventuring is not uncommon for their kind, though it is often born out of necessity, perhaps a need to secure resources for their clan, defend their territory, or investigate threats to their way of life. They are not adventurers by choice, but by circumstance. In contrast, the koala folk rarely leave their treetop homes, though the occasional visionary may wander out into the world driven by some mysterious dream or quest for knowledge. While kangaroo folk make for rugged, resourceful adventurers, the koalas are more suited to roles of guidance or mystical support, often underestimated for their slow, seemingly detached demeanour. The marsupial folk of Osse are more than mere NPCs. Their diversity and potential for adventuring roles make them excellent candidates for playable characters. Kangaroo folk, with their agility, strength, and practical mindset, could thrive as rangers, fighters, or druids, using their knowledge of the land to navigate difficult terrain and protect their people. Koala folk, on the other hand, might make interesting clerics, bards, or even wizards, drawing upon their mystical insights and deep connection to the spiritual world. Despite their slower pace, their dreamlike state could offer unique perspectives in any adventuring party, making them invaluable in roles requiring wisdom or foresight. The balance between these two peoples reflects the broader diversity of life in Osse, where survival often depends on a mix of practicality and respect for the unknown. Whether through the no-nonsense strength of the kangaroo folk or the quiet mysticism of the koalas, the marsupials of Osse are key players in the ever-evolving story of this wild and untamed land. While there are no perfect remedies for the sting of the Gympie Gympie, the people of Osse have developed some treatments over the generations. The Frill-Necked lizard folk, known for their deep understanding of herbal remedies, use a combination of heat and plant-based poultices to ease the pain and help remove the barbed hairs. Even their most effective salves, however, offer only temporary relief. Despite its dangers, the Gympie Gympie is also a valuable resource for those who dare to harvest it. The venomous hairs can be carefully collected and used to create potent poisons, which the lizard folk apply to their weapons for hunting or warfare. The kangaroo tribes are known to use the plant in rituals of endurance, challenging their strongest warriors to endure its sting as a test of strength and resilience. Despite the plant's reputation, the frill-necked lizard folk, kangaroo tribes, and Aboriginal humans all share a complex network of trade routes stretching across the southeastern delta and coastal jungles. These paths wind through treacherous territories where the Gympie Gympie grows in abundance, and the dangers of the plant are well known to every traveller. Yet trade continues, and the riches of the jungle, herbs, remedies, and the dangerous secrets of Aussie's flora are exchanged as life carries on in this untamed land. If this exploration of the deadly Gympie Gympie nettle tree has intrigued you, there's much more to come. I'll be diving deeper into the legends of Aussie, honouring the ancestors of these lands, past, present, and future. From ancient spirits to legendary creatures, there's always something more to discover. Join me as we continue this journey with respect and a spirit of adventure. My name is AJ Pickett, and as always, thanks for listening. I'll be back with more for you very soon.